I'm going to remove some background noise here in DaVinci Resolve. So let's take a look, watch the mixer. And you can see we got a lot of background noise, and I'm sure you can hear it. So let's jump over to the Fairlight page. And in the Fairlight page, I'm going to apply the background reduction to the whole audio track. But in order to learn the little section, I'm just going to do a couple little in and out points. And I'm just hitting I and O on my keyboard. And then that way I've got my loop engaged. So when it plays, it'll loop around in here. All right. So with the track selected, make sure you've got your track selected. Go over to your mixer. If you don't have it on, select it up there. And then under Effects, hit the plus icon. Go to Restoration and go to Noise Reduction. So by default, it's already going to be on and use some of its default settings. So watch just the default settings here. Much lower, we're not hearing as much of it. Turn it off there, you're probably hearing more of it. So by default, it's pretty good. A couple settings that you can play with in here is if you want to have it automatically decide where you're speaking and where you're not, you can do that. So I'm just going to pause the playback and I'm going to move my out point, and we can actually see the difference within my voice as well.
This can't happen now. Not when I'm this close.
And if I turn it off.
This can't happen now. Not when I'm this close.
Not bad. A couple other things that you can play with here is if you want it to learn the background. So this is similar to Audacity's Learn feature. So let's say I want it to just learn what the background noise is. I'm going to go over to Manual, and I've got my little section. Let's close that back down. And that's what the section I want it to learn. So just put your playhead where you want it to start, hit Learn, hit the spacebar on your keyboard. It's going to learn the section. I'm going to pause it, and now it has learned. So what it's going to do is remove that type of background noise. Now I'm going to clear my in and out points. And let's move it over to here. So we are still getting some background noise, but it's not too bad. And again, if we turn it off, you see that there's a difference. So that's similar to Audacity's Learn. You can also click this little icon up here, which is Listen to Noise Only. So it's actually going to play back. See, what it's doing is it's playing back what it deems as being noise. Whereas if I turn that off,
this can't happen.
It plays it normally. So that's kind of a neat feature for you to play with. You can also then adjust some of your settings to tweak it a little bit more, but that's the basics of it. This is similar, like I said, to Audacity's background noise reduction feature, is you put your playhead where you want it, you hit Learn, you play it. This is it's learning what background noise you want it to remove. You pause it, and then it'll automatically apply that to the whole timeline when you've got that set. And then from there, you can play around with some of the settings. I'll usually maybe adjust my attack a little bit. You can adjust your frequency. For the most part, though, leave those. And again, if your speech and background are nice and separate, you can use your auto speech mode. DaVinci Resolve will kind of do the work for you. And that's the basics of this. I do think the Audacity noise reduction feature is better, but if you're working with a video in here and you don't want to jump back and forth between the two, this is going to be the way to go.